I just had to change it, just had to end it. You know, it's been one of those days. Apparently, right now, the best quality that I can get is actually 360p because of some settings that I have misconfigured in my stream. So we're probably going to end this right now, and I'm going to come back online in a few seconds here. And as soon as I get back, we'll pick up where we're leaving off because according to my... Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh, no. Okay, so we actually, never mind. Okay, ignore everything I just said. Ignore everything I just said. I just saw on my phone that we're able to do 1080. So are we able to do 1080? Let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're able to do high def on your cell phone device or whatever it might be. I tell you what, this is just, man, learning a new system is tough, man, especially when something's already been working out for you. It's like, it's crazy how much is going on in this new software. Okay, the video looks good. I'm being too hard on myself. I know. I can't help it. All right, the video looks good. It's HD. Thank you. 1's in the chats. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special edition of the Winners Continuation live stream podcast. Woohoo! I tell you what, it's good to be here with you all tonight. I hope that you're having a wondrous and illustrious Sunday evening. I hope that you enjoyed your weekend wherever you are, listening all around the world. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of my graveyard shift workers. Shout out to all my health workers that work overnight. Shout out to you for getting ready for your 9 to 5 if you're a white collar and or blue collar worker. If you're an entrepreneur and you work whenever you want, shout out to you as well. We have to cover some news topics, and first and foremost, I want to go ahead and get to a Donovan Sharp update. That's right. I want to give us a Donovan Sharp update on his condition and his health and everything that's going on with him. He has made a pretty good recovery, and I know we got a lot of compliments in the chat, but I just wanted to bring this story over to us. This is him wishing us well wishes as a typical Donovan Sharp manner right here. It says, sorry to disappoint you guys, but it's going to take more than the cerveza virus to take me out. Finally discharged and heading home. Going to rest a day or two, then it's business as usual. F the cerveza virus. Well, I'll tell you what, Donovan Sharp, best and well wishes to you, my friend. Sometimes when life situations happen like this, it's good to kind of take a step back and really look on what the meaning of this might be and how it can translate to you becoming a better person in your own personal life. Do I think that this is going to be one of those situations for Mr. Sharp? I don't think so. I do want to wish all of my TV dinner enthusiasts, wherever you might be, all of my college graduates, a happy National TV Dinner Day. That's right, September 10th. 2000 and, well, it says 22, but I guess, is it 2022? Do I got my years wrong? Is it 2021 or 2022? Jesus Christ, I have no idea. Anyways, today is September 10th, so that is National TV Dinner Day. Farmer Consumer Awareness Day. Shout out to all the farmers. Shout out to all of my German people. Heifenweissel, right? Harvest Moon Festival is today. Mid-Autumn Festival is today. Picha Paksha is today. Shout out to all my Hindu and Indian people. Look at all these marvelous, beautiful people. They're such wonderful people, such beautiful people. We have the best people here in this country. We have such amazing people here in this country. That was my terrible Donald Trump impression. Listen, if it's not September, it's October. Jesus Christ, it's October, yo. Okay, well, I got my my holidays wrong. It's giving you an idea of where my mind is at today, so bear with me. I appreciate your patience. Listen, 156 people watching, 162 people watching. We have 56 likes. I'm going to start us off with some music because we're going to go ahead and get into our last news article before we get into the topic of discussion at hand. Why am I talking about winter yet again? Well, there's a lot going on in the manosphere. And we're going to cover it. And we just talked about Donovan's hell, possibly, I guess you could say, from his diagnosis as far as his mental and physical health condition was this past couple of days and or week. And there was another serious diagnosis I told you about on the last live stream that we'd cover. And I was going to make it a pre-recorded video, but I decided to go ahead and make it a normal video because it deserves that coverage. Our last news article before we get into it today. Let me know if the music is bothering y'all, if it's too loud or too quiet, and I'll turn the background music a little higher or lower. 14-year-old Courtney Brown is missing. Dallas police are asking for help in the search. On October 9th, it is October, not September, Jonathan. At about 5:30 p.m., Miss Brown was last seen on the foot of the 2800 block of Duval Drive. Courtine is described as a 14-year-old black female with black hair and brown eyes. This has gone to national news or international news in some ways. So she's getting the coverage that's very much needed and deserved, and hopefully she can return home. We know that there's a staggering 6-hour separation between black women deaths at the hands of primarily black men, and it's a very concerning rate because it is the highest rate as far as females disappearing and dying inside of the continental United States right now. Having said that, we're going to move on. Best and well wishes to the family, and to continue to cover the topic today, which is winter. Winter. I know we're definitely in October, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're covering winter, right? Winter is coming. If you don't know much about us, then right now we talk about the manosphere, right? If you're new to this channel, we talk about the manosphere, a group of men who don't like women and want them to essentially come back to them so they can worship the men in the patriarchal society that we live in, right? Well, what's been happening is that this discussion about winter and women dying alone hasn't been accurately reported or preached or doctored to the followers of the manosphere. But today we're going to change all of that, all right? Today we're going to change all of that because we're going to bring to you a lot of different complications that happen when winter finally does come, because guys fail to understand something in a very fundamental concept about winter. When winter finally arrives, if it does arrive, whenever that might be, it arrives for everybody, right? And just like this Donovan Sharp situation, there's another content creator in the manosphere who had a pretty serious, to say the least, outcome in health diagnosis. First, a quick story about winter. I moved to Michigan when I was, I believe, at 7 years old. And I remember my first real winter. As a matter of fact, I remember it like it was yesterday. We were playing in the snow. I got my snowsuit on. I had 3 layers of socks. I had everything that you needed, gloves, beanie, scarf, but I didn't have the right shoes. We didn't know at the time because we weren't from Michigan. We were from Texas. And so I had these Timberlands on. But when the snow pierced my Timberlands, since I didn't have adequate coverage, it gave me a near frostbite condition. As a matter of fact, when I stepped into the shower and I turned the hot water on to warm myself up, that's the number one thing to not do, by the way, if you have frostbite. Do not use hot water on the appendages or the limbs that are afflicted by the frostbite. It's very bad for them. Rather, you use cold water instead. Anyways, I turned on the hot water and it felt like there were hammer and nails being needled into my feet, right? Because my feet had been minorly frostbitten. So I screamed. My parents had to break into the bathroom and pretty much get me together. My mom did, at least, and pick me up. We didn't know what was going on because, once again, we were not from the winter area. We didn't understand how winter fundamentally worked and operated. And this is the biggest thing that I see with a lot of you guys. You guys are preaching and excited about winter when you really don't know the wiles and the destruction that winter brings, right? And when we were down here in Texas, we had a winter storm, and a lot of people had their ceilings fall from the top of their apartments or house because the pipes weren't built to be able to handle winter. They weren't built to be able to handle subarctic temperatures. So when we finally got this big freeze, we didn't have the infrastructure to really help or survive through the freeze. So whereas other northern states were looking at us like, what's wrong with the Texans? The whole city, the whole state shut down for a week or so because of one snowstorm. Well, that's because we don't understand the fundamental principles and conditions of winter. And when you don't understand the conditions of the principles of something, then that's when you're able to succumb to it, right? So getting back to my winter here, we're going to continue this as inescapable winter, right? I'm going to show you something really quickly. Some of y'all have seen this video a long time ago, but for the men that are wishing for this fanciful winter wonderland to just completely enshroud the entire nation so that you can have women finally chase you, I need you to understand that winter will come for you as well, much worse than it'll come for women. Because you see, our society predicates itself on the idea that men are strong enough to be able to handle themselves, that men should be able to take care of themselves as their own grown man, right? That's how we see men. We see women, and we kind of get women this very strict code of, I guess you could say, conduct from an earlier time onset as far as development go. But for the men particularly, men are expected to be able to have their life together by a certain age as well, right? Now, women, we instill this in them a lot sooner. You know, don't be promiscuous, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, right? And so we chased women almost from a very young age. But once men reach a certain age as well, particularly their mid-20s to late 20s, it is expected that you have your life together. It is expected that you have the infrastructure needed to rebound from the horrible effects of winter, if that ever happens, right? It's expected that you have enough money and savings to adequately provide for a catastrophe, or some kind of emergency, right? And so your traditional role inside of society is always seen as one who can survive or outlast the winter. So when winter does finally come, there's not going to be as much help for you as there is for women. And this kind of translates to the video that we're going to show today. So before I get into the second video and the content creator we're showing, we're going to show you Game of Thrones. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are commenting, I can't watch it right now, so forgive me. But I'm going to show you a movie scene here. And after I show you this movie scene, once again, I'll explain why I'm showing you this scene. Now, the premise to this scene is that all of the enemies have finally decided to come together because they recognize that the zombies or White Walkers, who black women are being compared to by Kevin Samuels and other Manosphere content creators, these zombies were going to eventually come and take over the entire world or kill the entire Earth or humanity as they knew it. And so the enemies had to finally come together and sit down together amongst each other, as you see in the scene right here, to have a discussion. And this discussion needed to have place, or it needed to happen, because if this discussion didn't happen, then their individual qualms amongst each other would be essentially what ends up getting them all wiped out, right? So the enemy of my enemy is my friend was kind of the concept behind the entire Winter Wonderland escapade or foundation, if you will, right? Let me read these comments again and make sure that this music's not too loud while I'm live streaming. Did y'all like the music? Can y'all even hear the music right now? Press a 1 in the chat if you can hear the music. One in the chat if you can hear the music. If you like the music, just making sure it's not too bad for y'all right now. One in the chat if you can read or hear the music if you like the music. Okay, Jojo, I won't spoil it for you. Thank you, Organic Black, for moderating in the chat. I appreciate that. My candle is going out on me. It's got a lot of wax, so it's kind of working against itself right here. Okay, we can hear the music. Music is decent. All right. Afro says she cannot hear the music. She pressed a 2. We'll turn it up a bit. No, can't hear the music. Somebody else can hear the music. All right, we'll turn it up. Here we go. This should be a little bit louder. Maybe this might be too loud. So let me know if this is too loud in the chat. I wanted to create kind of a, scary type vibe tonight. It is getting close to Halloween. So we'll create some good vibes tonight. Hey, honey bun, good to see you. Okay, you should be able to hear it right now. It's kind of like this creepy type music. No? Nobody hears anything? Okay, well, everybody's pressing 2, so I guess it's just me that can hear this. That's pretty trash. Still nothing? Wow. All right, well, the show must go on, so they say, right? The show must go on. I appreciate that. Wrong inputs. I appreciate that. All right. Well, hopefully we can hear this Game of Thrones dialogue or discourse or conversation. Too loud now? Okay. Yes, it does sound like wind. All right. I turned it down. It's not actually music, guys. It's just like wind sound effects. Somebody said it's a perfect volume for me. It's a little faint. All right, thank you. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on here. So the premise of this video, once again, everybody had to meet because winter was coming, the zombies were coming, and they were going to take over and kill society. So if they didn't come to a plan to start working together and settle each other's differences, then winter was going to take a very, very, very big hold and effect on their tribes and civilizations. So let's go ahead and listen to this once again.
We are a group of people who do not like one another, as this recent demonstration has shown. We have suffered at each other's hands. We have lost people we love at each other's hands. If all we wanted was more of the same, there would be no need for this gathering. We are entirely capable of waging war against each other without meeting face to face.
So instead we should settle our differences and live together in harmony for the rest of our days.
We all know that will never happen.
Then why are we here?
This isn't about living in harmony. It's just about living. The same thing is coming for all of us. A general you can't negotiate with. An army that doesn't leave corpses behind on the battlefield. Lord Tyrion tells me 1 million people live in this city. They're about to become 1 million more soldiers in the army of the dead.
I imagine for most of them it would be an improvement.
So they're trying to pretty much get the queen to understand here that this is serious, right? But she's got so much hate in her heart. She's so ill-willed. She's she's so lost, essentially, right? And we talk about this all the time, right? The difference between the savables and the unsavables, right? A lot of people in our community, both men and women, are unsavable. We can't do anything about that. And in this case, Xerxes was the same way. Xerxes is unsavable. As a matter of fact, Xerxes, the queen who was speaking there, the short-haired blonde lady, is such an unsavable that she even plans to once the war is over, use that time to strategically attack, because she knows that the enemies who are discussing the betterment of humanity at the time will be weak. She knows that they're not going to have the resources needed to accurately or effectively defend themselves. And so she's expecting winter. She's praying on winter, and she wants the winter to happen because she knows she's in the best position to conquer after winter ends up finally being taken care of, right? So pay attention to this. This is huge. But once again, she doesn't understand just how bad winter can be for everybody. And what ends up happening after she sees a bit of winter is what's interesting. So let's go ahead and fast forward here. And what you're going to see next might be a bit disturbing. So if you don't like zombies as much, maybe skip the next couple of minutes of this live stream. But we're going to go ahead to the visual representation of winter and why they needed to have the conversation and stick together in the first place. So here we go. Also, scare warning. It's going to be a little loud. So when winter appears, you need to understand something very fundamental about winter and about life, because winter is a constant cycle. As one of the commenters on my channel said one time, she said winter comes every time of year. But in this winter, in this movie, in this television show, it was a bit different, because the winter they spoke about was the long winter. And it's a winter that happened every 1,000 years, they said, or every 10,000 years, or however long it was, right? It didn't happen that often, but they knew it was a severe winter that could do a lot of damage, and that had a very catastrophic, effect. And this is very similar to what's going on and what has the opportunity or the ability to go on in a lot of men's lives, because as time goes on, you're going to experience winters. You're going to have things where you have your bouts of health issues. You're going to have things where you have your depression, your heartbreaks, your poverty. You're going to have things where you're not doing as well in life, right? But every once in a while, you get something that hits you, and it hits you really hard. And that's what these manosphere, that's what Kevin Scamulls is predicating their message on, this message of fear that this inevitable winter is coming. Now, what is that winter? I don't know what that winter is. I don't know if it's economical collapse. I don't know if it's another civil war. I don't know if it's a pandemic that's already kind of taken a hold of the world, and it just gets much more worse, and the government ends up trying to, I don't know anything at this point, right? I used to talk a lot about these situations, but if there is an actual winter, an earth-ending winter that's on the way, that's getting ready to hit, men are just going to be affected as much. Men are going to be just as affected, rather, as women are, which leads us to the crux of our message today. There's a man by the name of Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. And he is a YouTuber that's in the manosphere. He makes routinely videos speaking about women, how bad women are. You can see right here why she doesn't like you back, why black women choose the worst men, why modern women are done for, my response to this. Women want equality without accountability. She stole my money and cheated on me. Just the non-ending victim mindset that we always see from the manosphere guys, right? Except something happened to this young man. You see, when you preach about winter and you tell other people to fear winter, it's very, 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 when you point your finger at somebody, you have three more pointing back at you type of mentality. That's the best way that I can kind of equate that. You're kind of pointing out somebody, oh, you better be careful because there's a dog around the corner ready to bite you, right? So there's something around the corner ready to get you, but that same dog could come around the corner and decide to bite you instead, right? So it's very tricky. But what happened to him is that he experienced something which I think a lot of guys and a lot of men in the manosphere don't account for, something that age brings on and age brings about, which is cancer. MTR has been diagnosed with cancer. We're going to watch this video, and we're going to kind of break down why this is important and why understanding fundamentally winter as a concept and its damage to do just as much, it's a potential to do just as much damage to men as it does women, and why this isn't talked about as much, or why it's not talked about at all, to be completely honest with you. So without further ado, let's listen to MTR and this video on his cancer diagnosis.
What a difference a day makes. So, I have cancer. Didn't see this one coming at all. I think I lived my life particularly well.
Let's stop it there. So when things happen to you in life, and thank you for the $10 super chat from Brown Bunny. I appreciate that support, Brown Bunny 04. She says, make sure to show love. I appreciate that support. All the donations. If I missed your donations already, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. So when life happens, right? And the goal of life is to be able to have people in your corner that can understand and help you when things go haywire. And conversely, when things are going absolutely amazing, to have people that you can live life's experiences and build memories and foundations of relationships with, right? That's the purpose of life. We're put here to be able to enjoy each other because we as tribal and civil creatures thrive in tribes and civilizations and communities. And so when you go through things that are very, very, very hard, very depressing, very mentally taxing and challenging, without people that have your back, without a community that has your back, without the way that naturally we've been able to evolve in civilizations for thousands of years, when you start to finally realize that life isn't as complicated as you make it seem, when you finally start to realize that it's better to build relationships and foundations of love and good feelings, good vibes, and good energies, when you finally understand what life is all about, sometimes it can be too late, because as winter finally starts to approach you, you have not formed the bonds and the connections with people necessary to thrive and to get through that winter together. So in this case, men's age is a winter for them as well, right? And listen, I'm not wishing MTR anything other than a speedy recovery, a full recovery. I would never do that to say, hey, I hope it takes him out. I'm not like that, right? And I want us to be very careful going forward in the comments when we do talk about very serious situations like this, where people's lives are quite literally online or on the line, because this is a very serious case, right? But this needs to be discussed and talked about, because this is what you guys fail to understand about winter. It's not just coming for women, and particularly the group of men, black men, who are the least educated, the least community minded or communal minded, the least personal currency we have in our own people, because we don't have any businesses. We don't have any sense of family within our American pop culture. There's no family. There's no family value in the black community. There's just not, right? It's Asian, Mexican when you think of family value. We don't have, black men, you don't have the ability to really even go through winter as a collective, as a community as a whole. We don't have the resources necessary. If the power grid shut off, we don't have the power generators, the amps. We don't have the knowledge of herb lore. We don't have the knowledge of wilderness living to be able to survive like a lot of white men will be able to do. We don't have the resources or the homelands or the family in the homelands or an immediate country that we can cross a border to get back to somebody that looks like us, to somebody that speaks like us. We don't have any access. So if we get caught up in America, we don't have anywhere to really go, right? This is very important to know. We as black people, thank you so much, Self Love Heals, with the $20 super chat. Self Love Heals continuously supporting with donations to the show. We don't have anywhere to go, black men, all right? And this is why I'm so aggro about black men destroying black women, because the communities that we reckon destroy, if winter and economic collapse, if the government finally does run out of money like they're always threatening that they will, if something on a grandiose, cataclysmic, catastrophic scale finally does happen, we don't even have a community. We destroy actively the women in our community. We destroy actively the brothers in our community. We don't have anywhere to go. We can't just hop on a plane. We don't have anything. We don't have any business. We don't have any infrastructure. We don't go go out into the woods and train as brothers like the white man does. We don't have any militias that we built together for the most part. I've seen some black militias, right? So when winter finally comes, it's not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for us, particularly for men, because women will always be able to find a man to help take care of her or to take care of her because she's a woman. Naturally, black women will always have men able or willing to help take care of them because there's not even enough black men, to help take care of the women. And so that in and out of itself is going to cause her looking outside of her, traditional, what's the word? Preferences, I think the word is they kind of use to describe biracial women, right? And so just by default, quote unquote, and I hate to even say this way, but just by default, black women are now starting to understand that they're going to have to look outside of black men to begin with because of winter, right? And so as they become educated, as they start to really work on building businesses, as they start to be seen as a more favorable or the more favorable sex as far as black people are concerned, other races are going to notice that. This is why other races support black women financially more than they support black men, right? And so I say that to say this. We already see that other races of people support black women more than black men, or they're at least willing to give black women a chance to help them through the sub-winter, through the sub-Arctic storm that black women have been going through. But black men, since you are a man in America, there will not be as much hope for you. And for you to just kind of lie to yourself, assuming that you're ready for winter, is a very dangerous thing. Not just for the community, but really it's just dangerous for yourself, right? Because you're not ready by and large. You're just not, right? Let's go back to this video, and I want to keep listening to this as we kind of get on to my main crux of the message here. Once again, let's try and keep it, cordial in the comments, y'all.
I have a great diet. I work out 5 to 6 times per week. I have fantastic water intake. You guys always see this 3-liter gallon that I bought off of Amazon not too long ago, and I make sure I try to drink one of these a day. I've always been if I see something going wrong on my body, I'll go out to the doctor and get it checked out. I've always had a degree of anxiety when it comes to my health. A few months back, to be honest, I don't even know when. Let's say January, February? It might have been before that. It might have been after that. I don't even know. My head is still going through it. I noticed that there was a nodule or like a lump or really small, really tiny on my right testicle. Now, I didn't immediately go get it checked out because I feel like I'd touch it at one time and it would be there, and then I'd touch it another time just feeling around and it wouldn't be there. So I just kind of just let it go.
So he says he felt something on his right testicle. It was a lump of some sort. Yeah, the background music, I know, right? I know, testicular cancer, and we'll get through it, right? So he ends up getting diagnosed with testicular cancer. The thing is, they don't know what stage he's in right now, right? So here's my thing, okay? Here's my thing. Men, listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very closely. Listen to me extremely carefully, all right? You can claim that women are going to die alone as much as you want to. But make no mistake about it. If you are a black man and you are waiting for women to die alone, then you too will die alone as well, okay? That's just the natural order of things. Let's take this a step further. If something happens to your personal health, if something goes on and happens to you, all right, and whilst you're waiting for all women to die alone, now you have nobody to help you emotionally. Now you have nobody to help you physically if need be. Now you have nobody to watch over you or actually be a legal caretaker or guardian or to speak for you in case the worst does happen on the operational table. You guys see, you guys don't understand, man. You guys don't understand that when life gets real, man, life gets real. You're also trapped in this emotional, hateful manosphere. You're so trapped in this world of demonic and hateful envy. You're so trapped in this world of just I can't even say the words, to be honest with you. You're so trapped in rage and anger and destruction that you fail to see that life is coming for you too. my brother. Life is coming for you just as quickly, if not more quickly than it does for women. Haven't you noticed that men die before women? Have you not seen that men go before women? This is a fact. You know, it's funny. I was speaking with one of the channel members, and she explained that to me, why men die before women, and it makes so much sense. We just don't think as, you know, as turn off the music. I see everybody saying turn off the music. Let's see. I'm gonna turn down the music. Also, I see my computer is lagging like crazy. Hopefully that's a little better with the music right there. Sorry if it's bad. And so, my candle's going out. My computer's lagging. What you gonna do? So, listen, guys, you're already dying before women do, right? You already don't have as much education as they do, right? Which means you don't have as much personal currency as they do. If you don't have as much personal currency as they do, that means you don't have as much access to infrastructure as black women do, right? Personal currency follows education because money or currency follows education. If you know people that have money, even if you don't have money, you have personal currency with them, right? So education leads to money, which leads to personal currency, which leads to communal infrastructure, right? It takes money to build up a community, right? That's the concept here. A different type of music. Septina said it's not bad. The music is great. Yeah, I like the music. Hopefully it's just a perfect volume right now, right? Hopefully it's a perfect volume. Anyways. So, getting back to this, because this is deep. This is deep. If the worst does happen, there are going to be other races of people that are willing to support black women before they're supporting black men. Moreover, they're going to be willing to support black women because they're women, right? Society is patriarchal for the most part as far as traditional value goes in America, and we promote taking care of women, holding the door open for women. We call that chivalry, right? Obviously, this is the manosphere's goal, which is to get rid of chivalry and rebrand it as simp behavior, right? So, going back to this. All right. You want to go ahead and be a MGTOW, right? You wanted to be a man going your own way. This is what the Red Pill believes in. This is what MTR believes in. Don't date the modern women because the modern women are so evil. The modern women are so bad. The modern women are all just going to steal your entire bank account, put you on child support, and ruin your life. So don't date modern women. Cool. That's perfectly fine. When you go home and go to sleep and you're by yourself and you lay in that dark, cold bed, and he hasn't uploaded, by the way, y'all, he hasn't made a video. And listen, I'm not getting on to him. Listen, MTR, I really do wish you the best, man. But I got to show y'all. He hasn't made a video in 2 weeks. Okay? He hasn't made a video in 2 weeks. So my mans, all right? My mans, bro, check it out, man. You can have all the money in the world, right, ladies and gentlemen? We've said this plenty of times, or, you know, I've said plenty of old adages. You can have all the money in the world, but at what cost, or what does it mean if you sell your soul to get it? Congrats. You now have a pretty successful lifestyle. You're able to make thousands of dollars spreading messages of hating black women, hating women. You're able to spend time, as much time or as little time as you want to, working right now online because you make so much money off of YouTube. I mean, when you get to this level that he's at 230,000 subscribers, you're making 10, 15, 20,000 a month off of YouTube. Easy, right? So congratulations, you finally made it. Now life has happened. Now winter has still showed and reared its head. $1 billion means nothing without your health. Wealth is nothing without health. This is why we say, right? This is why we say health is wealth. Money doesn't mean everything, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I also say that value is not tied to a dollar bill, right? Where's my wallet? It's over there somewhere, right? A $20 bill isn't inherently valuable by itself. It's just a couple of pennies to make a $20 bill. It's paper at the end of the day. It can't do anything abnormally brilliant, right? What it does do very well is it acts as a form of currency for gold that you don't have access to. So the gold is what's valuable. That's what makes that $20 bill valuable. Money doesn't make you valuable. When your health goes, money is valuable, yes, because what it represents could be a better form of health care to help take care of you. So that money is very important. But if you have a condition to which it does not matter what level of health care you can afford, you're going to be in a bad condition or a bad state, or the demise inevitably is going to happen nonetheless, then all of a sudden your money does not mean anything anymore. Right? What means everything is the value of life. And you've heard plenty of people experience this, right? They wake up, they have a near-death experience, an NDE. Some of y'all have had near-death experiences. You might have gotten into a car crash. You might have passed out. Something might have happened. Whatever it might be, there are people who've had near-death experiences. And they'll tell you it was at that very moment they recognize that everything really doesn't matter. It does. Obviously, of course it does. Yes, you need to do as well as you can while you're here on this earth. Yes, you need to work. Yes, you need to go out and live and enjoy life, because that's what life's all about, for sure, right? That's what it's all about. But when it's all said and done, and when that Grim Reaper finally shows up, or whether an angel finally shows up, this candle, I'm going to have to pour out this candle wax. Hang on one second. I'm pouring out candle wax while we look at this man here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because my candle is not doing what it needs to do. Oh, also, this is not a candle from Unique Boutique Candles either. This is my own candle, so... Unique Boutique's going to kill me. Just 10 more seconds, guys. Sorry. All right. 10 more seconds officially now. Either I'm going to light this on fire or this is going to work. One of the two. We're about to see. All right. Nothing caught on fire. We're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. The party must go on. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that right there. All right. Here we go. I'm back. Okay. So, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Golly, I spilled. Oh, fuck. Hold on. All right. Well, that didn't go as well as it could have. Okay, so you've done well, right? Life happens, y'all. Life happens. Pandemics happen. Not all of us are going to live to see 80, 85, 90. Not all of us are going to live to see 70. I remember when I was in high school, a guidance counselor came and gave probably the most memorable spiel or speech that we had ever seen in high school, right? And it was on prom night because we were obviously going to be drinking, right? We were going to be drinking. And he gave us a speech before school checked out. So it was like 6th or 7th period. And all the seniors and juniors could listen to it or go to that speech for free, whatever, and you could get out of school early. And he spoke about his wife passing, right, due to a drunk driver. And he spoke about how dangerous and how fleeting, in both regards, obviously, how dangerous life can be and how fleeting life can be. But the last thing that he said to us before we left, and he said, listen, y'all, there's probably 10 of you who aren't going to make it to your 10-year graduation ceremony. Everybody was dead quiet. Dead quiet. And he said, take care of yourself because you only have one life. And this is why I always say on this channel, if you need to take a break from this type of content, if you need to take a break from the internet, if you need to take a break from your job, if you need to take a break from things in life that are just weighing you and holding you down and just making you feel bad and feel terrible, then take care of yourself first, because life happens. And the last thing you want is to be working so hard towards ultimately what you would value as nothing, right? Work hard, definitely do. But he said there's going to be 10 of you that aren't going to make it to your 10-year graduation. Wouldn't you know that he was spot on the money? I mean, he was on the money. At our high school graduation, not all of us are there. Not all of us are there. Life is real. Winter happens. Winter comes. For everybody. Not just black women. Not just women. Not just for black men. Winter comes for everybody. But it's going to hit and affect those hardest like black men. Because you do not have the fundamentals and the infrastructure, the knowledge. You don't have the resources. You don't have the community needed to see yourself through this winter. All other races of people in America do. You don't have anywhere to go. So as we kind of went on through our years after high school and after graduation, I thought about that. I thought about that man, his words very carefully, and I'm happy to tell you that I didn't go to my high school 10-year graduation, but I had the opportunity to, right? But not everybody did. Let's go back to medium tutorials and reviews, and I really want to once again say I wish the best for him. I hope that this is not an advanced stage of testicular cancer, because it can be deadly, and it is deadly. And I know with the pandemic and everything going on, a lot of people are not getting their cancer screenings and things of that nature. So if you're worried, both ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and go get screened, because as we age, guys. This is the nature of things. Men don't just get fine like wine, like Coach Greg Adams is always saying. Oh, men age like wine, women age like aged milk, women age like, as if niggas aren't dropping dead in their 40s from heart attacks. As if niggas aren't dropping dead in their 40s from other black men. As if niggas aren't just dropping dead in their 40s from poor health, from kidney failure. Niggas are dying every day, B. Niggas at age 18 are dying. Niggas at age 88 are dying. People are leaving this planet, dude. People are leaving this realm of existence. But they would have you believe that it's just the women that are just dying by the masses, dying by the millions. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. And health professionals that work in the professional field, in the medical fields, have given their personal testaments and stories of men who have walked in with the only woman that was actually able to be put on their health application or under their prospective visit or doctor's note application. The only women that they could put is their mothers. Your mom? Your mother? Mother's not in the hospital with them, though. Mother's at the job working so she can support her grown man that's living in the basement. Queen Mercy says colon cancer. Like Father Time just completely misses men. Like Father Time's like, oh, that's a guy. He'll have perfect health till he's 100. Right. So cool. You have your bachelor pad. Cool. You got the nice cars. Hey, awesome. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. If you have a heart attack, are you wearing safety alert? You guys know safety alert, right? The little necklace that you can wear around you, and when you fall or something like that, it automatically calls 911. Are you wearing safety alert, my nigga? Huh? Who's gonna be able to help you? Okay, you want to go your own way? Cool, awesome. So what if something happens to you? Are you prepared to deal with that? Of course you're not, because you haven't thought about that. Because you don't think anything could happen to you. You think that you're invincible until you have the self-realization and the actualization. I'm making up words. And until you have the realization that all of a sudden life has become real to you. Until you wake up and understand that at any moment things can change. That's when you finally get it. That's when you finally say, wow, okay, what have I done? And this is when we start hearing all these questions from people who have done very well in life, and they'll be like, "Oh, I have all this money, but I'm still not happy. Oh, I've done this. I'm a boss. I'm a CEO, but I'm still not happy." Well, how do you have $1 million in the bank but you're not happy? How do you have everything that you want in life? How do you get joy off of chastising and demonizing and persecuting other people to the point to where they start to fail and you get happiness from that failure? How are you still not happy with the people and the lives that you've ruined, or with the people that you've continuously demonized or humiliated online? How is that not enough for you? How are you still not happy? How much longer must you go on in this? At what point do you take a step back and you say, you know what, I'm good now? That never happens. You know when it does happen? When winter finally shows up. That's when it happens. That's when you put your head on your forehead and you say, oh my God, I can see clearly now. I understand. Wow. It's not that important.
Spots, things of that nature. So we're going through the physical, and I'd ask for STD test, just because I like to do all of that on a yearly basis, just to make sure everything is in tip-top condition. And it just popped into my head after asking for the STD test. I was like, oh yeah, doc, I also noticed something down there. And, he was like, really? So I was like, yeah. He was like, asked me to drop trowel, right? And he was doing his doctor thing down there. And He said, I kind of see what you're saying, but like it just feels like, and he named like all of the cords that hooked up to it. I don't know the name of the stuff. I'm not a doctor. So I think you're fine. I don't think we need to do anything further. I said, well, what would be the next step if I wanted to do something else to look further? And he said, we'll give you an ultrasound. I said, is an ultrasound painless? Because, guys, I haven't been through anything like this before in my life. I've got my tonsils taken out. That was probably the most, one of the most egregious things because, you know, back in the day, they talk about getting your tonsils taken out and they had the serious recovery. Anyway, I digress. And he said, no, ultrasound's not painless, you fool, or something that he said to that nature. And I was like, okay, cool, let's go get her done. So we did. And I believe that was a Friday. And on Monday, the results came back. I remember I was actually recording a video. Results came back, and I'm flicking through. I looked through the STD panel, you know, glowing remarks. Check, everything is okay.
Oh, he didn't get the STDs. He didn't get the STDs from pumping and dumping because that was his first concern, right? Dang, maybe this is an STD. Something that the manosphere always talks about. Pump and dump. Just pump and dump single moms. Yeah, you go on right ahead.
All right, everything is good.
All right.
I close that one down. I open up the ultrasound, and I look at the ultrasound, and it's divided into two different. It says left and right. Left, everything A-okay, but right didn't say everything was okay. Right said it was a dense mass that was formed about 2 centimeters in size.
So winter has knocked quite viciously at this young man's door. Mediocre tutorial and reviews. Who do you have to fall back on? Gentlemen, you better understand, you better realize something very quickly. You better realize it very, very, very quickly. The sooner you realize this, the better off in life you'll be. The more bridges that you burn, the least options you have to cross to get to your destination, right? The more bridges you burn, the least options to cross and get to your destination you have. You cannot simply afford or keep on destroying people online, destroying people's psyches, mindsets, destroying relationships. You cannot continue to be a hateful person and expect for the world or for women or for anybody to want to surround themselves with your presence, to want to be a friend to you, to want to acknowledge you. The longer you're an asshole to people, the worse that winter's going to be for you. Because nobody's going to help an asshole. Women are not going to come back running to you if an economic collapse happens. They don't need your protection as men. They can go buy a gun. They don't need a man to protect them anymore. Do women love to be with men? Obviously, yes. Do all of us want our significant other, our partners, whether it's a man or a woman, if you're a man or a woman, whether it be either way, whether you're homo or hetero, either way, we all want partners, yes, absolutely. But on the most basic fundamental human rights level, we don't necessarily need someone else if the worst does happen in total economic collapse, which is what the manosphere refers to winter as. But winter is just not total economic collapse. In this case, winter is your health, right? In this case, winter is your mental fortitude. In this case, winter is literally your money. If you haven't uploaded in 2 weeks, MTR, mediocre tutorial reviews, this guy who made this video hasn't uploaded in 2 weeks, that's going to start to affect his money, right? That could be winter for you as well. So these guys are trying to make, and once again, I don't know. We talked to these guys and we asked them, what exactly is winter? What does that mean? We don't get any direct answers. But I just try and apply every type of catastrophic situation to a situation or scenario, right? So if it is the total economic collapse, it's going to be winter for everybody. I mean, in that case, winter for the entire world. Since the entire world follows the U.S. dollar, everybody's going to be in winter. If it's that food runs out, I mean, can you niggas hunt? Can y'all hunt? Are you accurate shooting? I'd vouch to say most brothers probably don't know much about hunting, about setting traps, snares, track reading, Once again, herbivore, what to eat in the forest, what not to eat in the forest. Most dudes don't know much about that, right? So it's not like they're going to go running to black men to cultivate some sort of hunter relationship vibe. Okay, well, I just got an error. So it's 10:41. We just got our first error right now. It looks like the quality of connection is kind of low. Use a 1. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if the quality is still okay for you. 1 in the chat if the quality is still okay for you. I apologize. I might have to go. I might have to go back and use this other software here. It's tough right here. 1 in the chat. I'm waiting for y'all's response. I appreciate y'all. Sorry about the delay. 367 people still watching. Only 100 and something likes. Let's make sure we like, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we like. Let me close this out. Peach T says if his health improves, he won't change. He will still continue to make videos talking shit about women, most likely. Thank you, Panda Berry. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Queen Ashun. Sophia says I need to join Girl Scouts. April says I don't like him, but happy he was smart to get screened despite his doctor brushing off his concerns. Yeah, that's pretty crazy right there, right? That's pretty crazy right there. Thank y'all. Okay, I see all the ones. Regina says it's lagging. Yeah, it said that it was lagging a second ago for me as well. But I appreciate that, y'all. 394 people watching. 394 people watching. Whitney says it's laggy for her. Some of y'all, it will be a little laggy for. We're going to try and get this taken care of in the next one. 400 people watching. And listen, if you're just now joining, we're talking about MTR, Medium Tutorial Reviews, and the fallacy of winter that the manosphere loves to talk about. Winter coming for women, i.e. women, the modern day women in America, needing to finally chase back and follow under the guidance or the rule of men, because apparently men have lost control of their women. They've lost control, and the women have gotten out of control. The women are just all over the place. But once again, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to reiterate the fact that if you don't have control over your own life, if you aren't controlling your own destiny, if you aren't ready as a person to brace yourself and to weather the storms of life, then you really shouldn't be worrying about anybody else at this point. You need to just worry about yourself. Once again, I appreciate you for joining. 400 people. Make sure you like or dislike. I don't care. Thank you for everybody that's donating and contributing. I deeply appreciate that. So we're going to get back to this. Last thing I want to say before I get started playing this video again, ladies and gentlemen, is that winter comes for everybody. The more you age, the more things are going to happen to you. Listen, MTR, he looks like he's probably, 31, 30, maybe 27, 28? This is a young guy. And the Grim Winter Reaper is banging on his door very loud right now.
And that malignancy was suspected. So this is Monday. So I started to freak out. And I gave the hospital a call because I thought it was just so weird that I'm like reading this and no one had called me. No one said anything to me. So I called and I told them what my concerns were. The backstory, just like I told you guys. And then I just got this test result back. What should I do? What does this mean? He said the doctor will call you back. Doctor didn't call me back that day. That was a difficult day. To say the least, that was a difficult day.
And look at his face, man. I mean, just look at his facial expressions. I mean, the dude's destroyed, man. He doesn't know what level cancer he has. He's young. He's thinking he's in the prime time of his life. He's thinking, man, I got all this money. I got all this time. I got all these women now I can finally get. I got this. I got this. I got that. Bam. Oh, you think you're good, huh? You see, the fact of the matter is this MTR, Medium Tutorial Reviews, could be any of us. I see myself in him, just as you should see yourself in him, if you're a gentleman. Guys, if you're watching this, I guess let this be a a wake-up call to go get checked or to go get physicals. I had a physical earlier this year, and I had a full screening done. As a matter of fact, I had $12,000 of hospital bills done to me. I was slid into x-ray machines. They injected something into me, which when the ultraviolet or the x-rays hit your body, it makes your body feel like it's on fire almost. Like they injected something into me. But it gives them a more accurate reading of your bone structure and lets them see if you have any cancers or tumors or malignancy or whatever it might be. So I had like $12,000 of hospital bills. I got to pay off now. Fuck. But I said, I'm going to get checked. Make sure I'm good. And I'm good, thank God. But even if I wasn't, I know that I have a community right now that I could turn to. There are people in my life, both men and women, who I would be able to turn to and get emotional strength from if I had something like this happen to me. Right? What's the benefit of having a beautiful place, a beautiful house, a beautiful this, a beautiful that, if you don't even have a girl, or if you like guys, if you're a guy, if you don't even have a guy waiting for you when you get home? What's the point in that? Maybe I'm a simp. I don't know. I would much rather prefer having a woman inside of the house waiting for me than to come home after I receive a cancer diagnosis to a big ass apartment with nothing inside of it. That would feel horrible. That would feel horrible. Well, maybe he can go get a girlfriend. I don't know. If he goes to get his girlfriend or get a girlfriend, then half of the people might end up disparaging him like they did Donovan Sharp when they found out Donovan Sharp was married. Because the manosphere believes in being an incel. They believe in MGTOW, men going their own way. They believe in just leaving women alone, that all women are evil, that you shouldn't have a girlfriend, just have sex with them. The second that you move her in, as soon as you move her in, that's when all the problems and the issues start. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Please yourself and cry into your pillow at night. Go ahead. Let's get back to this.
I called. I said, hey, listen, I got to know something ASAP. They said, okay, cool. I checked my messages. The message is from my doctor that says, hey, sorry, couldn't get in contact. We had a firestorm emergency. I'm referring you to this urologist/oncologist. Now, the urologist is like the type of doctor that works on like the urinary tract, and oncologist is a cancer doctor. And I'm like, okay, I know it says malignancy suspected, which at the time I don't know if it's cancer suspected. And you should go see him. So I call that doctor and like the initial assistants, they couldn't see me until like a week and a half from when I called. And I was concerned with that, very concerned. So Wednesday morning or Tuesday evening, I called and I expressed my concern for when they'll be able to get to me. And they said, okay, we understand. Apparently, but sometime between Tuesday evening and then Wednesday morning, the doctor took a look at the ultrasound and then said, we want to see him right away. Okay?
Damn.
That's today. That's today. So I go into the office and I sit down and wait for the doctor to come in. And he comes in and we start having a conversation. I start going over kind of what are the things that I've been seeing. And he says to me, has surgery been scheduled yet? And I'm like, surgery? What are you talking about? He says, oh. So I begin to have this conversation with this doctor who really just blurts out. And really, I'm not ragging on the doctor, but how else do you tell someone this information? That they took a look at the ultrasound, and there's a 99% chance that it's cancer.
Damn.
And we're going to have to remove your right testicle.
Damn. Whew. I know that the stream is lagging. I know the stream is lagging for some of y'all. It's just trash at the end of the day. I mean, fuck. What can I do, you know? Hey, y'all. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Sorry if the stream is lagging. Sorry if the stream is lagging. I don't know what to do at this point. It's just tough, you know. Hopefully it ends up doing better. That's all we can do. All right. That's all we can do. Woo! To take out one testicle, right? My lord, my lord. He's not that old, y'all. Sorry if the stream is lagging, I know. No, I'm not excited to hear this. Sid Crazy says, you sound happy and excited to hear this, Truth. Pretty disgusting. No, I'm not happy and excited to hear this as well. I make these streams because it is very sad. I understand what this man's going through. Actually, I probably don't understand what this man's going through. But he finally makes it. He's finally made it. And now he has to deal with such a terrible circumstance and situation. To be honest with you, if you watch my Donovan Sharp video, I'm not excited any of these guys are having health crises. I'm simply bringing the reality of the situation. That health crises happen for men. And that you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as a man. Would you prefer, rather that I didn't report on this? That I just kind of let it slide by? No, guys need to understand that, yo, things get messed up. I need to have some people in my corner as well. It's nice to have a girl that got your back, man. It's nice to have a woman that can really get behind you and help you, pause, if you need. It's great to have a companion in life. When you get out of the hospital, you know, she can push you in a wheelchair to the Uber. She can watch over you a little bit. That's all right, man. Some of you guys don't understand, dude. Some of you guys are so hyper masculine, you know. I don't need no woman. I don't need this. I don't need that. Your bros ain't gonna be there to help you, man. Trust me, I know. Your bros aren't gonna be there to help you. Your bros, the same bros that you're all dapping up in your club, buying drinks for, they'll be the same niggas that end up smashing your girl when you go to jail. Trust me, I seen it. Trust me. Right? There is no brotherhood. Stop fighting, rhyming, and stop dying on the hill. There's brotherhood. There is no brotherhood for you. Your best chance of having a partner, a good life partner, a good sustainable partner, is through a relationship. Right? I understand relationships don't go well. That's fine. I get that. I understand relationships are a risk. I get that. I really do. I understand. If you want to be a MGTOW pump and dump women for your entire life, by all means, just recognize and realize that one day, a day is going to come when it's probably not going to be in your best interest to be completely by yourself at that moment in time. That day's coming. You better believe it. 408 people watching right now. If you're just now joining, we're turning into MTR, aka Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, for his latest cancer diagnosis, a shocking cancer diagnosis, which happened 2 weeks ago. He's got a video called Black Women Call Black Men Sellouts for Not Dating Them. Right? Somebody said, "Oh, Truth, you look very happy. You look very happy to be reporting on this, Truth." So it's okay. It's okay for him to be happy about, you know, disparaging black women. It's okay for him to smile, right? Look like he's having a party. It's okay for him to gloat, right? Of course it is, because it fits your narrative. It fits your warped ideological thought processes. But if somebody else was to, even though I'm not, be happy or relish in the fact that an enemy has the potential to go down, even though I'm not happy about this at all. I think it's a horrible thing, to be quite honest with you. And I feel very badly for the guy. I have empathy, something that a lot of these guys don't have. We have empathy on this channel, something that a lot of other channels in our sphere don't have. Right? Shout out to Uppity Unicorn. Make sure you check out Uppity Unicorn on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Let me drop the link to Uppity Unicorn right now. I've been watching her. And Mocha Mommy as well. I'm going to drop the link. I know my wrists look weird and weak, so don't judge me. I have to bend and fold to get to the keyboard. To subscribe to Uppity Unicorn. Uppity Unicorn is very fair in her judgment and her discernments. She doesn't just celebrate in bad things happening. Once again, I need y'all to understand and see why we are the way that we are. Why I'm talking about this. This is a man who is not on our side. This is a man who is not for the community. This is a man that does not care about our women. This is a man who, if he sees your sister who is black on the side of the road, if he sees your mother who is black on the side of the road, if she's over 40, just like he made a video here disparaging women who claim that they're over 40 and valuable, or just as valuable, right? See his face there? Right? This is not a guy that's on our side. So I'm not going to be sitting here crying tears of sorrow because he has cancer. I'm not going to be completely fake about it. Right? But I don't want him to die from cancer either. Obviously not. But I'd venture to say that most of his followers would have no issue with him sitting on a platform wishing that black women, or acknowledging the fact that his subscribers have no problem or would have no issue with black women dying of cancer. I'd be remiss to not mention that that's the fact, or that's the mentality of most of these manosphere demons. They are demons, not the good kind, the very bad kind of demons. However you interpret demonology at this point in your spiritual journey. They are demons, right? So you keep on sticking up for a man that wouldn't do shit for your sister while demonizing me, a guy that would give the shirt off my back for any woman, particularly a black woman. You keep on demonizing the person that I go to a grocery store every day and I pay for one of the black teen girls who works at the cashier. I pay for her dinner for her, right? I go over to the deli, I get her a dinner, maybe give her a couple dollars. She always asks for some chips or for some sandwiches or something like that. But go ahead, demonize me though. Demonize me for looking out for the community, you fuck niggas. Can't stand niggas, man. $389 people still watching. I appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. I know we might be having errors, but I appreciate y'all for still sticking around for my dialogue. It looks like I've been talking for an hour and 9 minutes. Listen, I might try and open up this Zoom panel type of discussion, but I might not at this point. I might just make this about an hour and a half live stream right now. You know, I might just make it an hour and a half live stream. 414 people, the number just jumped. Let's get back to mediocre. I cannot say this guy's name right. Tutorial and reviews, and listen to the rest of this cancer diagnosis video before we go on to the next part in our speculation as far as the winter that is coming for both men, if not harder for men than it is for women.
This was about 4 hours ago. You know, you never really prepare yourself to hear information like that. You know, there's not like a course. There's not a class. There's not a book. Because as much as you hear it happening to other people, it still doesn't prepare you for when it happens to you. I go through great lengths in order to take care of myself, take care of my body, make the correct decisions. And I think a degree of that is because I want to try to control everything in my space, because I know to a degree, if you control the things in your space, that it increases the likelihood of success. However, there's lightning strikes that can happen within your life, the unexpected. And there's no amount of control that you can exert over that.
There are lightning strikes that happen that you cannot prepare for. Right? It's funny. Nature has a different immediate winter, a different, in this case, a different immediate action for every season. For instance, in summer, we have thunderstorms, or in spring, you have thunderstorms or tornadoes, right? Right. In winter, you have blizzards, right? It's something that just happens all of a sudden. I don't know what happens in fall. What spontaneously happens in fall that we have to watch out for? Maybe fall doesn't have anything. But there's something spontaneous in every single season that just happens. And so he described a lightning bolt, something that you just can't control. It just happens out of nowhere all of a sudden. This is why I speak so much about men needing to be prepared, or as prepared as possible, both in their physical valuation as well as their spiritual and their mental valuation. Guys, listen, I speak about this all the time as we close the live streams. I say, hey, make sure you go do something nice for yourself. I say this all the time on my live streams, and this is why I tell y'all, you have one chance to dance in life. You get one chance to dance in life, and you don't know when the music's finally going to go out. You don't know when the limelight bulb is finally going to die, right? You get one chance to dance. But so many of you guys are so tied up into hatred and bigotry that while your chances to dance are passing out or passing right in front of you, you're just sitting on the sideline, not realizing, failing to realize or understand that light bulb is not going to be on forever. And so the DJ keeps on saying, hey, everybody, come out to the dance floor, come out to the dance floor, come out to the dance floor. And eventually he says, hey, it's final call. It's final call. Get your last drinks in right now, because as we continue to go further, the night's going to get a lot shorter, a lot quicker. It's final call. Hey, and I've heard the DJ even say, hey, talk to that lady right now. Get her number right now, because it's final call at the bar. Final call on the dance floor. When it's final call, that means you got about 15 minutes before the club shuts down. And after the club shuts down, you can do whatever you want to, right? But the work that you put in that club, the connections that you made in that club are going to be represented based off of what happens after you leave that club. For instance, you might end up going to somebody's house. Somebody might end up going to your house. You might end up going out to Waffle House with somebody, or with a party or two. You might go to an after party. It all depends on what happens in that club experience. And a lot of you guys, black men, you're sitting on the sideline right now watching life pass you by, getting upset at women, telling them that winter is coming, when in reality you've been sitting in the club, not drinking, not enjoying the atmosphere, not talking to any ladies or men if you're in a gay club, not doing anything to interact with those people inside of the club. And then when the club finally ends, you go and you drive home, you get into your car only to realize it's been yet another night that you didn't have a successful encounter inside of the club. But the only reason you didn't is because of you. So what do? You're going to pack up and wait till the next night. Man, shoot, I'm gonna go back because those girls, they were kind of stuck up. But shit, you saw me talking to the one girl though, right? You saw me talking to one girl. She was nice, huh? Shit, I'm gonna hit her up next time we go though, and you start making these plans for next time because you assume next time's gonna be there. What happens if the club ends up getting shot up and it's shut down? What happens if the club gets raided by the feds and it's shut down? What happens if a club just shuts down? What happens if a pandemic happens and all the clubs shut down for the next couple of months and you never see that girl again? You see, life happens, and there are things that are always uncontrollable. And I don't want you to get into a position to where you think that you have control over something, to where you think you have it figured out. I don't want you to get into a position to where you think that everything's okay and that you made the right choices as a man, as far as your relationships, your family, your job, your business, your education, your spiritual journey. I don't want you to follow these men who are going to realize that they're just as lost as the people that they're trying to admonish. I don't want you to get into a situation where something happens in life and you've been following advice from people who are just as lost, or if not more lost than you are. Lady Justice with a $20 super chat says, this is why it's important to focus on self-development and growth. Life is too short, and health crises often remind us of that. So much time could be spent building others up on these platforms, but instead we stay adversarial. $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Lady Justice, for that $20 super chat. I do thoroughly and gratefully appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. $10 super chat from Business Woman Reading says, I understand what you're trying to say, but some men wait till they get old or sick to make a commitment just to have a woman take care of them. That's not good either. I'm glad that you said that. I want to bring this point up really quickly. On Donovan Sharp's page, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about right now, you see my little wrist bent? I'm like, we're talking about winter right now, and the winter that is coming for a lot of the manosphere and a lot of people in general, right, aside from the pandemic. But I saw a picture on Donovan Sharp's page. I want to give a very, very, very strong trigger warning. This picture has bodily fluids in it, and so if you're not a person that really likes bodily fluids in it, who really likes bodily fluids in pictures, right? If you're not a person that really has a strong stomach, go ahead and skip the next 30 seconds. Here's your warning, okay? But I have to show this picture because it's really close to what our super chatter just said, right? So here we go. Cover your eyes, cover your ears. Here we go. If you're listening on audio right now, what you're seeing is a picture of Donovan Sharp, who had to be cathetered. If you don't know what catheter is, they have to stick a tube inside of you to extract liquid because you cannot get the liquid and or food out. So the caption says this. This is Donovan Sharp, red pill leader of the black and the manosphere, who tells you to pump and dump women and to not get married, even though he's married. Donovan said, so Father Time is rearing his ugly head. Couldn't pee all day, so I came to the ER and got cathetered. He said in parentheses, it wasn't as bad as you might think, but it still sucked. And drained over a liter of what appears to be iced tea. So now they are trying to test how long I have left to live with the smiling sunglass emoji face. I'll keep y'all posted, ... Uncanny timing, seeing that's 20 weeks before he actually literally nearly died, right? Uncanny timing, to say the least. But once again, men fail to understand that this winter It's going to affect you just as much as it does women. Father Time, just as he said, started to affect him, and he couldn't go to the bathroom one day. Yeah. Do you think you're going to be able to find an 18, a 17, or a 16? I've heard some of them even be proud and saying, oh, in Georgia, the age of consent in Georgia is 16. So really, I mean, if we're being honest about it, we could be with 16-year-olds. True? Oh, I have videos proving that too. You don't believe me? I have videos proving that. Let me show you something really quickly. Let me show you this. Grandmaster Troll did a video on this cat, man. I can't do this, dude. Yo, I cannot do this. Wait until y'all see this video, man. I don't know, dude. I try and I'm doing as much as I can. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Before I miss it, $5 super chat from who had it? Give me 1 second. If I missed the $5 super chat, I'm so sorry, my dear. I see a new channel member. Okay, thank you, Businesswoman's. Businesswoman's reading says, I think the message here is that if you act ugly, things will get ugly for you. Well, absolutely. And thank you for the channel membership. If you'd like to become a channel member and look at the channel members' videos or playlists, then you can do that. Click the super chat sign. 425 people watching right now. Lord have mercy. This is a big stream. Let me show you this video. So we just saw Donovan Sharp needing to be cathered, right? That's what happens when you get older, guys. You don't age like Coach Greg Adams told you age, like fine wine. You might look a little bit more burly and masculine bearded and whatever it might be on camera, and you might be able to take certain angles and look better in certain pictures, but make no mistake about it. Even though I look relatively decent, I don't look like I did when I was 18. None of us do. That's just natural, right? But let me show you this. Let me show you this video. I was listening to Grandmaster Troll. Talented guy. Did a little expose on me, exposing me, telling me that, I'm a panderer. The basics, right? The basics. But the video that he was doing was on a guy that, and I kid you not, I don't know why a guy would make a video like this. Likening himself and wanting to acknowledge to the rest of the world that he could have been R. Kelly. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Let me find this video for y'all really quickly. Jeez, I'm going to have to put it I'm going to have to find it. This is going to be really hard to do on the fly, especially with so many people watching. I should have been more prepared, but here I am nonetheless. I appreciate y'all's patience. I'm going to find this. You know what? We're just going to have to do it later. Anyways, I just wanted to really make the point that as you get older, young women aren't gonna want to take you to the doctor to get cathered. They're not gonna want to do that. Manosphere guys, hate to break it to you, Donovan Sharp, you're at the wall, bro. Donovan, you're past the wall. Most of y'all dudes are really past the wall. Most of y'all dudes are so far past the wall, and you don't understand because. And I'm gonna be brutally honest here, right? I'm just gonna be honest. If you're a guy, and you're not a good-looking guy, winter's already come for you, bro. If you're not physically domineering, financially or fiduciarily domineering, if you don't have a lot of money or look really good or just be an alpha type person or whatever it might be, you've been living in winter for your entire life, right? If you're not on your game, if you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're pretty much living in a subsect of winter right now. So you need to focus on your winter a lot more, right? Because things are only going to get harder for you as you continue to age. Right? Just like a car, you're driving a car for a long time, parts got to be replaced. The body's no different, right? If you don't have the ability as a man to take care of certain issues and things of that nature a certain way, don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself thinking that you're going to be getting with 18 and 19-year-old girls. Don't keep following the manosphere. They're going to lead you right off of a cliff. Let me keep on going with this I Have Cancer video. Then we'll wrap this portion of the live stream up into our next portion here. Shout out to our channel sponsors, by the way, mystic-tone.com, as well as uniqueboutiquecandles.com. That's right, Mystic Tone has a website now. Check it out, mystic-tone.com. I'll get the website to y'all in a little bit. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Mystic Tone in the comments. And Jazzy Divas. Here we go.
You have to receive the information and take the next steps forward.
Jesus Christ.
So that's what I'm going to do. take the information and go forward. So,
Dude's
surgery
messed
is
up, man.
scheduled tomorrow.
Man, they had to do emergency surgery on bro, man. Yo, if they call you into a doctor's office and then schedule emergency surgery for you the next day, he's laughing, right? He's laughing because this is, I mean, God Almighty, right? You're talking about your life now, right? It's obviously a form to control, the emotions. It's a coping mechanism, right? What can you do? Who expects this? Right? Guys, you can think you know everything about life, man. Y'all are missing what life is all about. Get your hearts, man. Get y'all's hearts, get y'all's souls, get y'all's mental, get y'all's physical. Get right, man. Become a better person, man. You don't want to be in a position like this, realizing that you've just been burning bridges in relationships with family members, with people, women, with friends. You don't want to be in this position, man, and then realize that you don't have anybody really other than people that have your back, other than channel subscribers who really don't care about you like that have your back. You trying to reach out to your channel subscribers and they don't really F with you like that. They just like the fact that you make them feel better based off of their 7th grade relationship that they had their heart broken in, right?
And it still feels weird even communicating that. Like, still weird. I just got this diagnosis, and they said, no, we gotta. I said, tomorrow? They said, yeah, tomorrow. I said, wait, hold up. Let me think about this real quick. No, it's gotta come out. Apparently the mantra in these situations is cut first, ask questions later. One of my other initial questions after, because I was in a fog, like I said, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, to a degree, I had been kind of laughing and joking regarding having my right nut removed right before I went into the hospital. But one of the questions that I ask is how much different is my life going to be into the future? If I still have the opportunity to have kids. And my understanding is that I will be, if I want to have kids into the future. And it's kind of like your kidneys. You remove one and the other one kind of compensates.
No, you mean the same beratements that you spill, we'll just say that, spew towards women. Can I still have kids? Right? All of a sudden, you're concerned about kids now, right? How quickly the tables changed. I thought there was no wall for men, Coach Greg Adams. I thought there was no wall for men, Donovan Sharp. I thought you aged like fine wine. It doesn't sound too fine, in my opinion. In my speculation. Sounds like the wall to me. Sounds like winter. What do I know?
I'm terrified. Not gonna lie. Not gonna act all macho. Like I got all the answers. Like I know what's coming. I'm terrified.
If a picture could talk. If a picture could speak. I got a question the other day from one of our subscribers. And I think I answered this question. Thank you for the $5 super chat from NK215. She says, what wall? You either age or you die. And I would rather age. Oh, and FYI, young women are not checking for average salary old men. Absolutely not. These guys have no idea. Well, guys get better as we age. Yeah. So would she rather have a 45-year-old guy that makes $25,000 a year or $35,000 a year, or a 22-year-old guy that makes $35,000 a year? Right. Average male earning for black males, $43,000. Okay. Cool. They like to somehow make it seem like their age has more value or something like that. And listen, this is the bigger issue I have with the age thing. I do believe that age has more value for both men and women. And here's my problem with the age thing. This is why I destroy them for their age fallacies. Here's my thing. We value everything in life that has age. We value old cars. We value old liquors, old wines, old alcohols, old spirits. We value old everything. As a matter of fact, we even have a market for them. We call them antiques. And when something gets to a certain age, you value it. But for some reason, the manosphere has decided to value everything with age except for people. For some reason, humans have valued everything with age except for human beings. That's the problem I have with it. Right? I do value people of older ages because they did something to get there. Lady Justice comes through with another $20 super chat. Thank you, Lady Justice. She says, winter is coming is a bad analogy. Black red pill creators riding on their Targaryen dragon. A Targaryen was the name of the family that had dragons in the Game of Thrones video that we watched earlier. Saving the day from a faux opposition, the White Walkers, when they themselves are the real threat, just like Daenerys Stormburn. Absolutely. I say this, and thank you for another super chat, Lady Justice. I appreciate that. I say this all the time, and I'll continue to say it. Right? My Kindle is just not working out here, so forgive me, y'all. We'll have some really cool visuals next time. I'm ordering more candles from uniqueboutiquecandles.com. Check out all the sponsors links in the description. Anyways, yeah, I say this all the time. You know, they're their own worst enemies. And once again, even if they decided to use this winter is coming analogy, okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's fine. But the White Walkers killed everybody. So why would you want winter? You should be fighting against winter. You shouldn't embrace it with open arms. That's lunacy. That doesn't make any sense. No sense whatsoever. We got 447 people watching right now. SC says, winter's coming? Well, let me get my faux fur. You're watching the Truth Seekers Live podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I truly hope that you've been enjoying this. I work my very hardest to bring you the most entertaining and accurate show possible. And I appreciate everybody that's given and donated. Just know that when you do donate, you go to bring better, higher quality show experiences to the... yeah. That was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what I was trying to say right there. All right. I appreciate your donations. I guess I'll just say that. I'm speaking Hebrew right now. Speaking ancient Hebrew. Listen, if you're enjoying the show, then make sure that you I see you, Charlene. I see your comment. Make sure you like. I want to try and do this, okay? I have Zoom. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to try and open up the panel because I know we obviously like to speak together, right? We're going to have to try and use Zoom this time with the new setup, with the new audio rig and everything. Zoom is what's going to be needed to try and figure out or to try and get everything effective. So I'm going to create a room. I'm going to post this link to the live chat, to the box. We're going to see how this goes. Fudge. One of two things is going to happen. Either the stream is going to crash or it's going to work. Assuming that it works, when you come up to the Zoom meeting, and let me know if you can still hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Assuming that it works, when you come up to the Zoom meeting, then give me a second to try and add you. There we go. Give me a second to try and add you, but we'll get you on up there, okay? So here we go. I'm going to try and share this. Let me know if you can still hear me in the live chat or on YouTube right now. Hopefully you can. Also, whoever complimented my shirt, I appreciate that. Somebody said that she brought her son this shirt because she enjoyed mine. So that's a heck of a compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me figure out how to invite somebody to this dang room right now. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Return to meeting, schedule meeting, chat, contact, apps. I don't even know how to work this thing, dude. It doesn't give me the ability to. Oh, there we go. Invite. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. This is so complicated. F me. Here's the thing. The link that you join, there's a passcode. So after this link, you're going to see a passcode. I need you to type in that passcode in order to get into the room. All right? So you might have to download Zoom on your phone or on your computer. We're going to see how this goes. I appreciate the $5 super chat from your fave Persuasion. She says, reality is, as soon as Donovan and Mediocre get back on YouTube, they will be right back to dragging women, especially black women, for the filth like nothing happened. More than likely, and I hate that that's the fact of the matter. But here's to hoping, right? Here's to hoping. Passcode is, one second, y'all, 26FABW. All right, that's the link to join the Zoom. We're going to see how this goes. We still have, over 400 people watching right now. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hope you're enjoying your evening just as much as I'm enjoying your evening with you. Thank you for giving me a chance, for giving us a chance in our community. A couple jumping jacks. We're at the hour and a half mark on our live stream. As we wait for a couple people to join, we're going to go ahead and, Diana says Zoom and YouTube are separate. Make sure your app is up to date. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it out. Gordon said, the honest truth. Yeah, I know. I use the same platform that Tevin Scamulls uses, right? Lemon has joined. Lemon is connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. Lemon has joined. Wow. All right, so we got something going on here. Lemon has joined, as well as Charlene. Wow, Charlene's in the building. This is awesome right here. Okay, y'all. Charlene has connected her audio. It's good to see Charlene. Give me 1 second, Charlene. We're going to add you to the OBS studios, assuming that I know what I'm doing right here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear Charlene, then I need you to put a 1 in the chat. I'll be watching from my cell phone if you can hear Charlene and if you can see Charlene as well. Charlene, it's so good to see and hear from you, as well as Kiana and whoever else just joined in the back. What are your thoughts on the winter that men are getting ready to experience, or that you've seen experience today on this live stream?
So well, I want to talk about something else, but my experience on that, what I think about that, about winter and them.
Right.
I think winter is coming for them, whether they like it or not. It's like they try to, at first when they start to make their channels, they start off on a good foot, and they bring in like all the audiences. Like before, he wasn't like that. Before, he used to have women come on his show, and they would give their viewpoints, and it was interactive. And then slowly he started to get into the manosphere, and then they started using their talking points, and then it just turned toxic. And I feel like everybody is slowly doing that, like all the males in the manosphere. I mean, except for you, of course. But they're like slowly starting to do that. And it just changes everything, and they look really bad. But winter is coming for them, whether they like it or not. Like, I don't think females find that attractive. They wouldn't attract a quality female, and they will never get the best out of a woman.
Charlene, listen, you said a lot right there, and you said it perfectly. I'm going to have to agree with everything that you just said. I'm trying to figure out how to pull myself back up. So, y'all, I have no idea how to work Zoom. I'm going to go to the next person, but I'm going to put you on mute for now, Charlene, and I'll see you in a couple seconds, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Charlene. Charlene's on point right there. 1000% agreed. And we have Chantilly in the building. Lemon, I see you joined as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put everybody on mute while you connect. Lemon, I see you as well. We're going to put you on mute. Thank you, my dear. Chantilly, if I can pull you up. There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I can pull people up and take people down. Let me try something really quickly. Hold on. Put in waiting room. Okay, there we go. Okay, you're good. You're good. Oh, well, I think I got rid of her. Jeez, that's terrible. Yo, I'm trash at this. This is hard. Let's see what gallery does. Okay. Come on now. Now, where am I? That's my thing. Not immersive. All right, Chantilly, the floor is yours. Go ahead. What did you think about winter while I try and figure out my winter wonderland I have going on over here? Oh. Unmute yourself, Chantilly, if you can. All right. Chantilly is gone for the time being. We'll see her in a second. Devin, good to see you, Devin.
Hello?
Oh, there you are, Chantilly. How's it going?
Okay, it looks like it's on me.
Yes, yes, it is.
So if it is on me, I just wanted to say that I was talking about how men, when they get older, they like to find someone who can take care of them, wait till they get older, because I experienced that with someone that I knew. Like, this person was in a relationship with someone for like 40 years, on and off. This man would drag her along for 40 years.
Okay.
He waited till he was extremely sick to marry her and older, and they were only married for probably like 6 months before he passed away, and then he still didn't leave her anything.
Wow.
So
okay,
that's wanting to be with someone just so they can take care of you. It takes away from seeing the humanity in that person, and it's not something that I would suggest that anyone does, just to be with someone so you're not alone when you're older. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Chantilly. The chat's kind of reacting. 40 years is unreal, to be completely honest with you. That's just wild, but I appreciate that, my dear. I appreciate your input. Devin, go ahead, Devin. The floor is yours. Good to see you again, Dev. Hope everything's been good, man. We'll ask Dev to unmute right there. There might be a bit of a delay, I'm assuming.
All right. I can't. Thank you for requesting that I unmute. I can't hear you though. But if you can hear me, I think you have a point. The sister that just spoke up, because a lot of people don't realize their mortality until they get older, and then it's situations like this brother is unfortunately facing right now. That's making him come to terms with life and the fact that life is not permanent, and maybe we should take a more compassionate view of each other and each other's circumstances, and especially within the community, within the Black community, while we're healthy, so that we don't have to have this embarrassing catharsis when these tragedies occur. But I kind of feel like, I've been following him, before. I like his videos. I like, shout out to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I like a lot of his content. But at the same time, I think he kind of went about this a little fast, a little quick, with the whole, if the way he described the situation is the way it actually happened, I think he kind of pushed the doctor when he first complained about the situation for that diagnosis, and then the situation just kind of took on a life of its own, and kind of went on, faster than, I don't know. I personally, I would have gone to several doctors before losing a testicle. I would have gotten second, third, and fourth opinions, because you only got two. Before volunteering to give up any organ. But God bless him. God bless him, and like I said, man, these are the lessons that hit people. And I was trying to speak up with people in the manosphere, with Dennis Sperling and Kevin Samuels and a lot of other people. I see a lot of this mother-raised energy. Okay, and I embrace all of our brothers, but we've had a couple of generations go by since the whole manufacturing of the situation that we have of, the majority of our children growing up in single mother households. And after a couple of generations, we're noticing that the hyper emotionalism, the lack of chivalry, that, this is all from mother-raised boys. And even though these guys are trying to express themselves as being part of the manosphere, or stepping up and speaking up on behalf of men, they're really being emotionally reactionary, more like women. And even the ones that try to come off with the bravado of the gangbanger, right? And the machismo of the gangbanger, that's still hyper emotionalism. That's not the way men solve problems. We don't solve problems with fisticuffs and guns and violence against each other. We solve problems with reason. Reason builds skyscrapers. Fighting doesn't build skyscrapers. And we don't have any skyscrapers. So that says a lot about us, you know?
It's deep.
But
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely, Dev. Listen, man, 1,000% on point. It's good to see you again, bro. Very good
Same
to see
here,
you.
brother.
I appreciate that input. Dev's on the money, ladies and gentlemen. 10,000%. There's so much that we have to correct in and out of ourselves before we as people start to even think about, you know, correcting or having discussions of corrections with other people. And that's kind of one thing that I'm, you know, continually working on myself as well, is making sure that everything that I'm saying, you know, I'm doing or putting forth a step forward in my own life, because, I mean, that's the utmost form of hypocrisy,
Yes.
which is one person telling you to do something that they're not able to do themselves.
Yes, same here, brother. As difficult as it is, yes, racism exists, but you confront it because you're a man and you're a soldier, right? And you are supposed to defend your boundaries as a man in this world, and you're supposed to stand up on equal footing with every other man in this world and face his resistance. Absolutely. That's what we're here to do. And you know, I was speaking up about the people that have been defaming our culture in the rap music industry, you know, for years, for generations, man. I mean, it goes all the way back literally to the minstrel show, you know, through black exploitation or blaxploitation, all the way up to this garbage that they're pumping into the ears of our children, trying to recycle the social ills that plague our society by pumping it into the ears of our kids, sending our kids to the penitentiary and the graveyard like the Pied Piper. And I speak up about directly, you know, about Edgar Bronfman Jr. and I call the names of these individuals that are doing this to our people. But what I get from the so-called manosphere is, oh, well, if they're smart enough to screw us over, then they have the right to do that. That's a feminine perspective, man. A man husbands his people. A man husbands his society, his community, and a man speaks up and says, you don't have the right to defame my culture this way, and to elevate the thug element of our society to the point of being representative of our society. Man. And we should, you know, we got to fight back. You know what I mean?
Man, J Truth, you are absolutely on fire tonight, my brother. I cannot agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, man. That's the problem. That's the issue that we're having right now. Is we have too many of the degenerates being represented as our normalcy, right? We have to address that. We have to start separating the savables from the unsavables, and then to start creating a different subsect of pop culture within the majority degeneracy in our pop culture. And that's going to be very tough, but but this message is important for that fact that for that reason that you just mentioned right there. And that is that we have two different mindsets that are really driving the black community. Unfortunately, it's more of one part of the brain as opposed to the other. It's more degeneracy than we have progressive, right? Absolutely. I'm going to put you on mute for a second, Devin, as I try and kind of go back to figure out how the hell I'm going to work this. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Devin Lockett coming in clutch. So I see I have 5 participants here. If you're in a waiting room or something, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to be able to get to you right now because I am struggling to get through this. But it's working out. I'm glad that we still have 450 people watching, which is just amazing. Diana Prince, you are going to be up next. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can cam up, I would appreciate it, because with the dynamics of Zoom, it just looks a little bit better with the software as far as you coming on the camera, so we can give it a better look and not look at a bunch of squares and things of that nature. So I'd ask you to, if you can't, I understand. There's nothing wrong with not hopping on the camera. I completely understand and I get it. But Diana, the floor is yours. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. I'll send you that right there. After Diana, we're going to go with Sarah C. Diana, the floor is yours. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Honest Truth. Thank you for having me.
Really good. I appreciate that, Diana. I appreciate that. And you know what? I think this is good because right now I can still, and everybody else should still be able to hear you, even though I don't have share screen on, so that's good. Y'all let me know if you cannot hear the conversation with Diana. If you can, don't say anything. Diana, what'd you think about this show or this topic today?
This is a very good topic because I was having some conversations with some girlfriends, and like I've said in the past, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and there are a lot of Black men that are like dying in the hospital, and they're dying by themselves. And all this, I don't need a woman, and playing all these games and treating people bad, it actually comes back to you at some point. You reap what you sow. And I don't know why Black men have this idea that they're immune from the sowing and reaping process. That's a universal law. Every human being on this earth is going to reap what they have sown. So if you're treating people disrespectfully and you're degrading people and you're just living foul, you know, it's going to come back in the form of sickness, illness, death, not being able to move like you want to in life, because God's not going to honor you when you don't honor yourself. God didn't put women and men here for all this nonsense. And so if you want to live all foul and stinky, then that's what you're going to get. That's why a lot of Black men are dying by themselves. They don't have life insurance. Their kids aren't coming to visit them in the hospital, and they're dying left and right. And I don't have sympathy for those people. All I can do is pray for you, because if God can put you in a situation and put you on your back, and your heart and your mind is still not changed, then I don't know what to tell you.
That's it. That's it right
there.
And
it's just sad. That's what it boiled down to, because God is not going to honor you when you don't honor yourself, when you don't honor the people that he put here. Nobody has a license to disrespect and treat people badly.
Facts. Absolute facts. That's what bugs me the most, Diana. I'm so glad you said that. Huge point. Anybody that tries to tell me that I'm not doing something, that I'm not a good person, or I'm not desirable because of this, or I'm not desirable because of that. Any person that tries to fulfill the role of God or my creator and expect me to live my life dictated off of the words that they say, they can go to hell. That person can go to hell. Any person that tries to control or enslave somebody based off of their perception of what is normal inside of socio-capitalistic America, or normal as far as your unalienable rights, anybody that tries to tell you what your rights are or how you should be able to live your life through those rights, tell them to go to hell and jump off a bridge on their way there. You know, that's what I say there. Strong words, but I mean that 1,000%. Diana, I'm so glad that you stuck on that and said that. I'll let you have your final words closing out as we go ahead and move on to Sarah here in a little bit.
And then, like, I don't know who believes in God and who believes in Jesus, but I believe there's a God in Jesus. And the problem with man in general is that when you start trying to put yourself up there where God and Jesus are, because when we wake up in the morning, it's not because some man of this earth woke us up. It's up to God if we're going to wake up. So anybody that's trying to put themselves in the position of a God, like they're controlling this society, but then their life doesn't show what they're trying to preach, and it's nothing but hypocrisy and contradictions.
Yeah,
then those people should just totally be ignored. Because
and Diana, we're gonna wrap this up. Diana, we're gonna wrap this up. I appreciate that. We're gonna stop you there, okay?
Yeah,
but thank you, Diana. You're fine, my dear. Okay. I appreciate you. Good words from Diana, and 1,000% I support. You know, anybody that's trying to act like God, and I know, ladies and gentlemen, we all believe in different things spiritually. So if you don't believe in God, then by all means, don't go crazy. All right, whatever you believe in, that person that's trying to effectively be your controller, right, or guarantor, I think they called Britney Spears' dad or something like that, right? I don't know what it's called. I forget. Any person that's trying to be that in your life, that's not actually lending over credible, criticism. Because listen, we all need criticism. We all need to be told when, hey, we could be doing something a little bit better, or maybe we're just, something's a little off. I appreciate criticism and legitimate critiques, but abuse is what is being substituted for critiques or for criticism. And that's, I'll never be able to go for that. And there's no abuse needed. You can tell somebody how to be a better person without calling them a linebacker. You can tell somebody how to make better choices about their health without calling them a refrigerator. That's abuse versus critiques. Two very different things, right? Sarah C., the floor is yours, Sarah C. After Sarah C., we're going to go with disritual and then KP. All right, Sarah C., I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and let me know what you think about the winner that you saw today, or winner for men in general.
Winner for men in general. It's just, it's funny because Kevin Samuels did not come up with that. I mean, that was Black women that came up with that. And I mean, back in like 2014, 2015, Kendall St. Charles and etc. Pro Black women, they came up with that. But which, they got it from other places. But it's just sad because they think it's only for single women, but it's not. It's coming from men too. I live in New York City, right? There's plenty of half of the homeless men are Black and the other half are non-Black. And I mean, hello.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like where's the disconnect to where you just somehow think that this is
only going to affect single Black women with no husband, no man.
Right.
Like, no, sir. And, now he's spewing this thing of, well, you need to have $1 million to retire with no husband. Since when, sir?
Is that what he's saying right now, Kevin? You have to have $1 million?
Yeah, that's what he's been saying, yeah. It's going to, he did the calculation, so it's going to be a little over $1 million for you to retire on your own, pretty much. And it's like, since when? But okay, sir.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea he was doing that. Listen, I'm glad you said that. Really quickly, let me go and I'll let you finish out after this. ZB for $10. Thank you, ZB, for the $10 super chat. Says, women are not fools. Black males making excuses for Black exploitation or Black exploitation music is not a feminine way of thinking. Please do not associate male failures with being feminine. Black men are behaving like boys. I think that's a very good comment to kind of really bring up right now. And I caught myself saying this one time and I really had to catch myself because I was like, he's acting effeminate, right? And I think on stream I actually did say, and I don't mean to offend women when I say that, because a lot of the times we use this word feminine, and ZD, this is a great comment here, something that I just haven't really addressed. We use this word feminine to describe a man who is a weak or a man who doesn't have just moral characteristics or qualities, and we interchange this word for being, I guess, maybe immoral or lacking with the word feminine, which is almost giving the word feminine a negative connotation in as far as the context of describing a male who is a boy living in a man's body. We'll call him feminine, but that does a disservice to women, because femininity is a beautiful thing, right? It's just that we see femininity as this terrible ideological perspective or ideological representation of self when it's in the form of a man or a male's body, right? And that's just not the case. Moreover, there are men who can have feminine traits that women might not like as much, right? Women love Prince. I know I'm using a celebrity case, and obviously Prince is a celebrity, so a 1 in a billion type of case, right? But there are some guys who are a bit more feminine and women still love them, right? I guess androgynous would be more of the word for it. So women do like some feminine guys. I mean, they do. Some women don't. It's all about what you think is appealing and attractive, right? It just depends on what you like. So I think that's a great super chat. We need to definitely start distinguishing feminine from bad, right? Because they have the same meaning almost sometimes. Sarah, I appreciate that. We're gonna go ahead and move on really quickly, Sarah. And then as we kind of wrap up, we'll come back to you here in a bit. Disai Ritual, I'm not sure how to say your name, but I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. The floor is yours, and give me your perspective on winter for men, or how you see this entire situation playing out or whatnot.
How I kind of see the situation is kind of crazy. I used to watch MTR a lot. Like when he first started become kind of popular, he was in my recommendations, and I was like, oh, let me check him out. And at that time he would talk about business and he'd have conversations with a lot of women, so it was a little different at that time. And then I slowly saw as Cameron Samuels became a little bit more famous, and you had like Fresh and Fit and those guys became more famous, and just all these YouTubers that just start bashing women more. I saw his content change, and it just changed into nothing but hateful stuff. And one thing I always kind of hate when I started watching him, like towards like the end before he got cancer and stuff, is he would be so happy watching some woman's downfall. Like he would get so much joy, and he would make this weird face on his like I forget what they call it, the photo that they use for like the video, the kind of like the shock value photo, like that weird evil face he would make,
right?
And for people to click on the video, it just became very like demonic. The energy just became very like what is the problem, dude? And
Right.
then a lot of things he's saying is circling around back to bite him. Like he would talk about, I remember one girl came on there and he was talking about, because she was like already in her 30s, and he was like, you're not gonna be able to have kids, you gotta hurry up, you're already 30 something. And she was like, well, my mom had me when she was 40. So he said, and I'm a black woman, so my genetics may last a little longer. He's like, but still, man, we can have kids at 65. But now you only have one testicle, which actually decreases your chances of having kids. You can still have them, but it's going to be way harder. And then age also plays a part in men
So
too. Not
so
as bad as women,
so you're
but
saying
it
that
happens.
there's a wall for men.
Yeah, there is.
I think that you provided a very accurate response, and you have some support in the chat. You're absolutely right about that. There is a wall for men. I'll let you finish out your thought, and we'll move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just everything, like, because these guys, they just sit in this circle and they like, just circle jerk each other off, and then it gets to this point where reality comes. Like I'm gonna say, like, quick little joke. Like, if you ever watch porn and after you don't watch porn, you're like, ew, this is disgusting. That kind of what happened to him. Reality kind of hit him. He finally realized that life is not what you thought it. You just can't run around and say things and treat people a certain way, and these things happen. Like, he was basically saying, women, you're never gonna be able to have kids. You're never gonna be able to do this. Now you can't have kids. Now you probably won't ever get married. Because some women probably gonna look like, hey, you only got one testicle, I don't want to be with you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, how quickly things change, huh? How quickly things change. Yeah. You think you think an 18-year-old girl is gonna wanna be feeling you down there, and all of a sudden she's like, wait a second, that feels weird. What happened? Right. And all of a sudden, this is why age is so important to discuss and really talk about and to really debunk, because this is the true nature of life right here. This is how life works and operates. As we get older, we're just like any other machine that's out there. We have tune-ups. We have things that we have to do to our own body. We have to take care of ourselves. Things happen. I mean, in a perfect world, yeah, you can be 70 years old and still running a Boston Marathon race. That's the goal. But that's not always life for all of us, right? So, listen, I appreciate that.
And I'm going to say something like really, really quick. And also like the age thing. He always talking about, I only date, women under 25 because they're more attractive.
Right.
They haven't been ran through. They're still naive, so I can kind of run over them. That basically was the reason why. So now you're looking at the possibility that that's not going to happen. And women who are older are going to be more understanding of the situation. So it's kind of like everything he kind of put out is coming back to him full force. And I never really liked him also because he always felt like he was smarter than everybody. And
yeah, those types of guys I don't really. Yeah, I don't like those types of guys in real life because you can't have a conversation with them because they're always trying to one up you. You can be like, man, I just climbed the Eiffel Tower. He'd be like, man, I climbed the Eiffel Tower when I was 7. And it's just like you can't ever have a decent conversation because he's just always trying to show the world that he's better, to show the girls that he's better. I can't stand guys like that. Listen, we got to move on. This is Rich Earl, but I appreciate you. Okay.
All right, no problem.
Thank you, my dear. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to Dean. Have you already spoken, Dean?
Deanne.
Oh, Deanne.
No,
I thought I was Deanne. I'm so trash. I'm just.
No, don't worry about it. It's always fun at the beginning. Anywhere I go, I'm cool with it, sir. It's all right.
Deanne,
now, do you prefer to be called Jay? Your name for your show is The Honest Truth. So I always try to find out, how do you prefer to be addressed, sir?
Well, that's completely up to you, my dear. As I try and bring you, thank you for actually having your camera on. You can call me Truth.
You're welcome. I heard you. Okay, The Honest Truth, sir. I heard you ask for that. Okay, so I know you got a lot of people you want to speak.
Oh, you're fine.
Something I want to talk about when I have conversations with people on this subject. There's no point pointing at fingers backwards at people who supposedly are going to hit a wall when black men are falling off cliffs.
Right.
All versus the cliff. I know I'm in San Francisco Bay Area also.
Okay.
And just like half the homeless on the street are in New York City are black men. When you get to the point that you can no longer work nor play, this is going to happen for most people about age 55. I've seen this over and over and over again. You can play till about 50, 55. You get to be about Kevin Samuel's age and you play out. Now, And talk about women winter is coming. You do not see homeless black women on the street like this. You just don't see that
No,
anywhere.
you don't. I was in LA. I was in LA on Skid Row. I was going to go rent out a building over there. I did not see that many black women.
Well, see, this is the other part that people don't want to talk about. See, the thing about black women is we will network and work together. What the manosphere really needs to talk about for itself is you gentlemen need to go get your sons. But then again, if you didn't think enough to stay in the homes and made absent father homes and didn't care about your sons when they were children, then you don't care about them. They don't care about you. And all of you are about to die on the street. Let me tell you a little something about the winter that is coming. We have as president the man that wrote those crime bills that took out half of my generation of men. He's in office after the previous president let these PPP loans go out into the community and let everybody make up a business and sign up. And so the president we have today, President Biden, is now out here hiring 20,000 people to now go run down people in the community that took those loans and should not have had them.
Uh-oh.
When you get a felony, see, the manosphere thinks it's so cute. No, what you about to do when you and the ratchet women that will roll with you all end up in a situation where you become a felon and you will never get government housing and government help again. So now, not only you, but any woman dumb enough to go with you on your dust journey, none of you are going to have resources. And by the way, when the U.S. government does come through for this, they're going to snatch up everything else that's happening. Because who's the president in office? The president we have in office is the man that gave us the 1986 and 1994 crime bills. So what do you think he's about to do to the present generation of black people that is not ready to do this thing in the 21st century? Everybody sitting back here pointing backwards at black women. Goldman Sachs is breaking off $10 billion for those of us who are in business. Excuse me. Some of us are going to be just fine. But these men are about to run head on into the blizzard of the biggest economic blizzard for black people since Joe Biden was in the Senate in 1994. But they're out here talking about winter, and the abominable snowman is in office.
Deanne, listen, you just said some serious stuff right there. Apparently, I don't know how much time is left on Zoom, guys. I didn't know. I guess I had to buy Zoom or something. I don't know what the hell's going on. So Zoom might just cut off at this point. We don't know. I'm gonna try and get everybody up.
It said it was upgraded. It did say it was upgraded, and you do have unlimited minutes now.
Oh, really? Okay.
It did just flash that message on the screen. Now, whether they're lying or not, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it did.
Okay. Thank you, Deanne. I appreciate that. Deanne, you just hit you hit so many incredible points there. You're so right. I can't even follow up and say anything other than, well said. You're 1,000% on the money. I'm going to give you your final words really, really quickly as well. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for what you're doing to bring awareness to this issue. But people, get ready. There is a whole winter train coming. Winter is like the virus we will not blame. I think I heard you call it the
Cerveza virus.
That's it. Cerveza. First time I listened to you. The Cerveza virus, and this thing is coming in the black community because of these loans that went wrong, does not care whether you are a man or a woman. Man. Winter is coming. Get the heck ready. Do not spend time with men or women who are not understanding what's going on. I'm telling you again, if you know somebody who got messed up by this, get ready, because they're going to be coming to you. We're about to lose food stamps. We're about to lose housing. We're about to be the felonies. And if you're not in that, someone like me who's not in it, the black community is about to get turned upside down. So you cannot afford dust. Remove these people from your life because you cannot afford. You will die in the snow and the dust. Stop pointing fingers. When there's a cliff right ahead of you. It works for Wile E. Coyote. It will not work for you.
Oh, Deanne. I tell you what, calls like that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love doing what we do here. I can't thank you enough. And I need to say nothing more past that point. We're going to hear from Deanne hopefully another time in the future, hopefully the near future, and hopefully she can enlighten us with more truth bombs. We got to drop the bomb for Deanne. She just said a lot right there. I appreciate that. And wisdom is wisdom. It hits differently. Intellect is intellect, and it's great to be smart, but you cannot compete with wisdom. Deanne, thank you so much again. We'll see you soon, my dear.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You as well. I'll tell you what. Let's see. We have one other people here. I'm going to start taking people down who have already gone because we're going to go ahead and get this rolling on out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get. Oops, Deanne. I hope I didn't block you. Let me see. Hold on a second. Diana, I'm taking you down as well. Give me 1 second. Oh, damn. Okay. I removed somebody, but apparently when you remove somebody off of Zoom, it gives you the option to report them, which is already pre-selected. So I just reported you, Deanne. Next time I create a live stream and you can't join, let me know so I can look into the appropriate measures to get you reinstated. Sarah C., I think you already went, Sarah, so I'm going to go ahead and take you down. Good to see you again, Sarah. KP, you are the last for the evening, KP. So we're going to have to kind of keep this quick, but your final words, or the final words of the night for the winter that's coming for men.
Well, hello, Truth. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm great, KP. How's your night going?
Going pretty well. I honestly don't even know how to follow up after DN because that was amazing. But I will say, because I'm not as versed as her when it comes to the law and politics and things like that. But to piggyback off of what she was saying about winter coming for men, also, I believe that what they're doing is projecting, because the things that they are telling us that we should be afraid of as Black women are things that they're already going through. Because men typically, especially Black men, typically aren't known for getting married. So they typically are alone. And in MTR's case, he isn't married or has any children or anything like that. And it's honestly weird how he's concerned about having children now when he is in the business of, you know, kind of talking about women in the way that he does. So it's like, what woman would want to have children with you? But on the other hand, it's them really projecting because they know that those are things that are happening to them, but they want us to be scared and scrambling after them to try to prevent that from happening to them. But when they move the goalposts as much as they do, it's like, who want to be with y'all? We're fine with Black women are actually getting more and more okay with dying alone because we'd much rather die alone than be stressed out by insecure men that don't know what they want for themselves.
It's a fact. Big facts, KP. I appreciate those final words, and you're right on point. A great other perspective and great dialogue to kind of wrap up this conversation. I appreciate you and your patience, my dear, okay?
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too as well. We'll see you soon. All right, that was KP, our last caller of the night. We have had quite a discussion. I believe Organic Black, and huge shout out to Organic Black, consistently moderating, consistently just doing so much for the channel. Huge shout out to all the mods, but I got to give a shout out to Organic Black first and foremost for just being amazing, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm going to end this room and this meeting for all. The Zoom meeting is now closed, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up this live stream. Listen, there might very well be an economic collapse on the horizon. I know the governments talk about it all the time. I know we talk about it a lot. I know that we all believe in different political factions, different political beliefs. I completely get it and understand it, and it very well might happen. But don't for 1 minute, Black males, think that you have anybody else that's coming to your rescue. Think that you have anybody else that's going to have your back. Think that you have anybody else that's going to be willing to stand for you in the fire in the kitchen that might be very well blazing in the hearts and minds of American people all around the world as well, depending on the collapse of the economic dollar, the economic king, right? Everything rides on the economic dollar of the United States. If something does happen, then you would be a fool to think that your own women and your own people wouldn't be the ones to have your back the most. Because if it does come down to race, at some point or another, all things equal, we don't even have the numbers, right? All things equal, niggas don't even like each other. So if winter really comes, be sure to, with the $10 super chats and value adding show tonight, bro. Thumbs up. Wisdom wins. Hashtag wisdom wins. Wisdom wins for sure. Consider it, ladies and gentlemen. Consider it. Men, I encourage you to start looking up herb lore. Start looking up camping tips. Start looking up survival. Preppers. I was talking with one of the channel channel members the other day about prepping, right? Start watching prepping channels. Start making sure you have enough dry food. If you believe that winter's coming, what exactly are you doing to stop it or to prepare for it right now? Black women, they have connections. They're getting educated. They're building businesses. They're making personal currency. They're growing. Your numbers don't reflect that. I want to thank you for joining us tonight on the live stream, Truth Seekers Live podcast. I want to thank everybody for being patient with the technical difficulties. I hope that this was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. We'll be back in 2 days, and we'll have more pre-recorded videos. Make sure if you decide to join the channel that you're on the lookout for the members-only videos. You can reach the members-only playlist by going to youtube.com/thehonest truth and going to memberships or the membership tab, or just by going to youtube.com/thehonest truth, and on my homepage, you'll see the videos labeled for members only. You can either click that video or click the super chat $ button that you see flash, that you saw flash just a couple of seconds ago, as be sure to donate at $10 and then join the channel for $3.99. I have some awesome content on the way. I know I say it a lot, but trust me, it'll be here one of these days. Until then, I appreciate all the emails. I'm going to get back to the business emails literally later tonight. I'm writing all the business emails back because I've been thinking a lot of the time if y'all reach out to me with a business or something along that lines, I have to think about it. I have to do my research on it. I have to make sure that it falls in line with my message and with my brand, because at the end of the day, you're going to be getting a lot of views and you'll get a lot of people that are seeking out your products or services. So I have to make sure that you're ready and that I'm ready and that there's no possible liability issues that fall in between that as well. ZB with another super chat, super sticker. She says KO the knockout punch with a super sticker chat of with the super sticker donated. Jesus Christ, super chat of $10. Kier with the flame emojis as always. I appreciate that, Kier. Another channel mod and huge channel contributor. Diana Prince says she enjoyed herself. Thank you again for having me. This is one of Diana's favorite channels, she says. 400 people still watching. One of the more successful lives that we've had. One of the more successful lives we had. Tanya C said this live is fire. I appreciate that, Tanya C. Tanya C said this live is fire. Rose is wishing everyone a good night. Numa Kamara is laughing from something either I said or something that one of you all said in the chat. Very entertaining chat. Hopefully, I got to copyright something on my little dashboard while we were doing this. I think it was from Game of Thrones. So hopefully we can not get a copyright strike and be forced to edit this video, thus losing the live chat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be it. Good night. If you're on the East Coast, you're already sleeping. Forgive us for doing a late stream. If you're on the West Coast, good night to you in a few hours. If you party all night and you work all night like I do, then I'll see you when I upload the next video. I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. However, if you are, I want to thank you once again for joining us. This is going to conclude our episode of the Truth Seekers Live podcast. My name is Truth. I do love you. I really do. I don't hate black men. I don't. But if it comes down to it, then I'll make sure to protect my own people. Make sure to protect our women before I'll protect one of y'all, right? And you should do the very same thing. That's what you are. You're a man. And that's how the bearing of responsibility falls on your shoulder. Until then, take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Head on a swivel. You live one time, one chance to dance. Enjoy it.